I am not taking personal readings at this time. Please do not get scammed by people posing as me in the comments section. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. So today's reading, we are looking into what galactic beings, deities, guides, or spirits, ascended masters, ancestors even, are currently around you. How do they communicate with you? How are they currently popping up in your life? And what messages do they want to directly communicate to you today? And I want to thank user Xena13 for suggesting this reading, because this is such a fun reading. I love out there readings like this, and this was such a fun one to do. So thank you so very much for your suggestion. And if any of you guys also have any suggestions, pick a card recommendations, leave them down below in the comments for sure. I am going to try to show you guys the oracle cards that I used in today's reading, but they kind of changed pile to pile depending on what I felt like came up, but there were some main ones that I used. So the oracle cards that I used today are Maruk, Egyptian Visions, also Divination of the Ancients, the Pleiadian Oracle, Black Moon Astrology cards, and Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians Oracle cards. All right, getting to the disclaimers in the meditation. Obviously, this is a general reading, meaning that it will resonate with who it is meant to resonate with. Tarot does not control or dictate your life. If you hear something that you do not like or agree with and think that you're just fixed to that reality, then you are not using my readings correctly. I conduct these readings for confirmation, not answers. If you hear something for the first time, please do not take that message without receiving further confirmation from your higher self and spiritual team. Realize at the end of the day, you have the final say with your destiny. Your free will is your power, and what you choose to do with it will determine your life outcomes, not a pick a card reading on YouTube. So please be responsible and accountable for your own actions, and use this as a guide to help decipher the messages that your spiritual team has been trying to send you all along. If you would like to participate in this meditation, then this is a general reading for the collective. And in order for this reading to resonate with you, you need to be synced into the energy of this reading. To help you do that and to help you select a pile with your third eye, not your physical ones, I will be offering a 60-second meditation. Halfway into it, I will be placing crystals for my clairvoyants that like to pick piles with objects on them. And after the clairvoyant pile selection, there will be a clairaudient selection where I play a different tone for each pile. And you can select a pile based off of which tone resonates with you the most. If you are drawn to another pile, that's because there is another message for you in that pile. So if you're ready, get into a relaxed position, become aware of your entire body, starting with your feet and working that awareness up in sections from the feet to the head. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds, hold that breath for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. Then ask your guides, spirit, ancestors, the universe, or all of them to connect you to your higher self so you can receive confirming messages as to which galactic beings, deities, guides, ancestors, ascended masters, or spirits are currently around you and what they want to say to you right now. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. On pile 1 is smoky quartz. On pile 2 is celestite. On pile 3 is labradorite. On pile 4 is blue kyanite. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are going to start off with your tarot cards. Then we'll be pulling some oracle cards to look into what galactic beings or deities, guides, or spirits are currently around you and a message from them to you. So starting off with your tarot cards, we have the Magician, the Two of Swords in reverse, the Four of Wands upright, the Two of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, pile 1. Do you guys have like a deep love or understanding of things like astrology or divination, cartomancy, tarot, the cosmos, esotericism, quantum mechanics? Do you study ancient texts or even religion? If you do, it's because of these spirits around you and the close connection that you guys have. This feels like Pleiadian, I would guess, if there was like a certain like galactic system that came to mind. But pile 1, whoever these beings are around you, and we'll definitely pull plenty of oracle messages to try and narrow it down. But whoever they are extremely advanced beings, which, well, that's obviously what this reading is about today. But they are so advanced that they more than likely don't show up around you guys to the point that you feel or sense them or see them all the time. I wouldn't be shocked if like you guys can feel them, but they're not like super, like, you have a spiritual team around you, but at the same time, they're not like super discernible. I don't know if it's because they don't want to be detectable or very, in your face. Or if it's more to do with the vibration that they operate on is so high that you have to vibrate at a certain level to notice them. Because with this realm here, they're not super evident or like really in your face. Majority of the souls on this planet at this time could not and cannot perceive these beings that are showing up in your reading here. It's too dense here. And I'll tell you what, like a long time ago on this planet, the beings that are around you or that are connected to you, they were a lot more in contact with human beings back in the day, like in the ancient times, with the Magician card here. The beings that have shown up in your pile, they used to be worshipped or revered as gods because they were able to perform miracles or bend the laws of physics, to do things that only like, AI or a Hollywood movie could produce today. And so these are ancient entities that when they walked on planet Earth, it would have been during the time that like Atlantis was here, before the Great Destruction. And you see the Two of Swords in reverse right here. These beings, they do not engage in mayhem and chaos. That sort of confusion that's like rampant on planet Earth right now is not a frequency that they tolerate because it's just too disruptive. Where they are from is extremely harmonious. And it's not like they don't have differences, I guess, but it's like, it's not the same. It's not like the same sort of conflict that's here on planet Earth, with the Two of Swords in reverse. In pile 1, I would not be shocked with the Four of Wands here if your soul came from the same place. The Four of Wands is home, community. It's where we feel most welcome and in our natural element. And you also have the Two of Cups here, which is all about exchange. It can signify a marriage, but it doesn't have to mean in the literal or romantic sense of marriage. More so, the Two of Cups is about a union. I'm able to share my cup with you and you with me, because when we ingest what is in these cups, it's not going to change my chemistry. Whatever is in your cup is in mine, which is why we're able to pass them back and forth or share them. Like you wouldn't just take a random person's cup and drink from it, right? And that's because it's dirty, it's unhygienic. You don't know what they've got going on health-wise, and like hell, most people wouldn't drink behind anyone, even family, because germs and, things of that nature. So this card, the Two of Cups, is symbolic of a deep level of trust and intimacy. that says, I know I can drink behind you and remain in good health. I can trust you in that sense. But in tarot terms, the Two of Cups says, I know I can share not just like my germs with you per se, but I know I can share my life with you, my secrets with you, my heart with you, my thoughts with you, my body with you, and I won't be harmed in any way. I won't suffer in any way. Like when two people get married, they become one. That is the idea behind the Two of Cups. We're merging our spirit and soul together to become one. And that is how tight-knit the community is that these spirits come from that are showing up in your pile here. They all pretty much operate on the same high vibrational wave. The Ten of Cups is the Two of Cups, but magnified, where we go from only, two of us sharing our cups to now there's several of us. There's a deep trust here with these guides around you. So I'm going to give you guys like some ideas of who these spirits could be. They don't have to be these exact ones, but their essence could be very similar. So magician here is definitely indicating entities with like godlike powers, very advanced and able to perform miracles, as well as like messenger energies or messenger gods. But definitely think like, Jesus or Ra, better yet Amun, with that quiet power to him. Amun is literally described as like the hidden one, or think Zeus, maybe Odin or Olodumare or Apollo, even an archangel, possibly like Archangel Michael or Metatron. Or maybe even Tahuti or Thoth, who would be his Greek name. These are very knowledgeable entities who have a direct connection to Source itself or present themselves as Source itself. They may have been seen or worshipped as a sun god in the past as well. Even Heka is very present in your reading here with the magician. Heka in ancient Kemet, or in otherwise ancient Egypt, was seen as like the force or the power behind Amun that Amun tapped into and used in order to create itself or bring itself to life, in order to manifest itself. He used the powers of Heka, and Heka is what we would call magic. These spirits have a very high understanding of that source and are very in touch with the I am concept. Also, there's strong evidence of there being like creator energies, fertility gods or love gods around you with the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So this would be like a Set, or aka Isis, or Hathor, Oshun, maybe like Yemaya or Eros, or Parvati, Ishtar, Aphrodite, maybe even Archangel Gabriel, who's also like a messenger of God. Just know that like family as well, family and community is everything to these powers around you, pile one, which is why family may be a very big theme in your life, whether you have a good relationship or a non-existent one with your family. Community is the main priority for these spirits. It's their religion. They know that there is power in connection and in community and in tribes, and they are more powerful with others as opposed to alone. And even though you might not want to be, you guys may be very sensitive to your tribe, or you may desire close connection, whether in a partnership or with the soulmate or with a family or with your own brotherhood or sisterhood, something like that. Okay, so let's start grabbing some oracle cards to see what other energies or spirits or deities are coming through. Okay, let's see what we get for you. Pile one. Okay, we have play here coming out for you. Enjoying what one is doing, having fun and feeling good, higher vibrations. Yes, these are very like high vibrational energies around you. They spend more time playing. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Like these energies or spirits, they don't believe in conflict or like chaos, I guess, is a better way to describe it. So these are very high vibrational energies that may even have very youthful energy to them with this play coming out right here. And then we have here helpful people. So these are extremely helpful energies as well. It says someone will be generous to you. People want willing to help, accept help from others. So also these energies around you, they send people to you that are going to help you. They're going to help maybe open doors, or they're going to help you when you guys maybe are, running short on something, or, like just when you need certain things to happen. and maybe you need some sort of assistance from someone else, they send helpful people towards you. But again, this is what I was saying at the very end of you guys' tarot reading, that these energies around you are very serious about community, about tribe, about family, whether that's blood related or not, because they know that people are stronger together than alone. And this is why, because, you know, when you have others around you, you can lean on each other and help each other. Okay. So it's definitely confirmation of that. Let's see what sort of energy they kind of bring into you guys' life, or that they may use to activate in your, we have here first house, the body, and underneath the deck here, we have Saturn truth. So these could also be very, again, with Saturn truth, what is coming to mind is that earlier message that popped up when I was just looking at you guys' tarot cards, that these are extremely old gods or energies. They're very ancient, because Saturn is the father of time in astrology. It is the planet of structure, of wisdom, of maturity, of discipline, challenges, restrictions, limitations, realism. Saturn's energy is all about self-mastery, but you have to be highly disciplined and very committed to what you're doing in order to reach that level of mastery, because it requires so much sacrifice. So these energies around you, even though you guys have play right here, they also can have a very serious energy about them with Saturn truth right here. And they're very connected to time. So these could even be energies around you that are very connected to time, or in other words, they may be very ancient, very old energies, old gods that were worshipped a long time ago. They may have even been forgotten over time with Saturn truth underneath the deck here. Also, they could have a strict nature to them or a stricter side to them, or because Saturn and play are so wildly different from each other. I mean, this is literally two extremes. Nothing about Saturn is like playtime. Saturn is the strict father figure in astrology. So this could be saying that there's two very different energies around you, because we do the 10 of cups here, and the 2 of cups, which can be a bit more playful or a bit more joyful than I would describe Saturn. First house, the body, is ruled by Aries and Mars. So you guys could also have been born with Saturn in your first house. Saturn could currently be transiting your first house as well. And Saturn currently is in the sign of Aries. Really interesting that is actually coming out. So it could just be talking about like right now, these energies are very present in your life at the time of me filming this. We're in August of 2025. But again, first house is ruled by Aries and Mars. And first house is all about your personal brand in astrology. So the first house is going to essentially build your identity by shaping the different motives and desires that drive you to act and encourage you to do. The first house is all about how we distinguish ourselves from everyone else. So it's going to rule the things that you are drawn to, the things that you are passionate about. This is where we experience that separation, where we see the rest of the world as it and we see ourselves as me. So the idea of you versus me is conceived in the first house. And because again, it's all about how we distinguish ourselves. So the fact that the first house, the body, is coming out to describe the energies around you and the energies that they bring into your life in order to activate you is saying that they really show up in you guys' identity, in your character, how you carry yourself, the way that you perceive the world, the way that the world receives and perceives you. So a lot of the energies around you, they may manifest in you guys' aura somehow, in how you guys carry yourself. You may be somebody that a lot of people consider to be pretty serious when they first meet you, because the first house is also going to be concerned with like first impressions, like when you first meet someone. Once you get to know them, you know, there's other sides of them, other qualities of them that start to come out, but that first impression is going to be the first house. So people may describe you as like someone who is very Saturn-like when they first meet you, very serious, and then the more they get to know you, may seem very playful, very helpful, very warm, but you may have kind of like a cold exterior, almost even an intimidating presence as well when people first meet you, and then as they get to know you, guys kind of warm up and you end up showing more of your playful side. the more you get to know people. But if that is the case, just know it's because of these energies around you. They really come through in you guys' identity, in your presence, in your aura, how you carry yourself. A lot of people may consider you to be wise or an old soul, with Saturn, the truth here, being underneath the deck as well. Okay. You guys may be Capricorn risings, or just you may feel like a Saturn dominated person. So you could even be an Aquarius rising as well. Let's see what energies come out for you guys. Oh, okay. So we have here Aphrodite underneath the deck. And what shot out for you guys is Kali Ma, spiritual transformation. So I personally don't know a lot about Kali Ma. I have heard of her. I have done a little reading on her. But I know she is a energy not to be fucked with. Excuse my French. But yeah, exactly. Like she is carrying this, what's this called? A scythe, whatever it's called here. And so she's just ready to cut away anything that she needs to cut away. And so I guess whatever it is that she cuts away, maybe she throws into the fire to be transformed, to be reborn through fire, through burning away the old, in order to birth the new. That's what I'm going to guess. But Kali Ma jumped out straight away for you guys. And like I said, I've always heard that she is a very notorious energy or spirit who she does not play about her children. That's what I've always heard about her. And interesting that Aphrodite is underneath the deck, coming out to confirm what I picked up for you guys with the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups here. That there could definitely be like a love energy in you guys' life with Aphrodite, eternal love right here. So you guys may be very, very, very drawn to both of these energies. Oh, and look at what was underneath Aphrodite. We have Ra here, share your gift. I kind of want to read Kali Ma for you guys. So hold on, because the way she just made herself known was very Kali Ma-esque in my opinion. Okay, and Hindu goddess Kali Ma is a fierce powerhouse of the creative feminine life force Shakti energy. The ultimate spiritual transformer, Kali confronts you with your darkest fears whilst simultaneously activating your eternal light. Her razor-sharp swords destroy everything that is not authentic, and her skulls represent the death of the ego. Kali is a lightning bolt of truth that, just like you guys got Saturn truth right here, that initiates sweeping change. Working with Kali can be an intense process of stripping away, yet it reveals our deepest spiritual power. Her symbols are the void, the cutlass, skulls, and red hibiscus flowers. Really interesting. And her invocation here says, out of chaos comes divine order. My spirit roars with truth. And that's funny because I talked about chaos and order when I was just looking at you guys' tarot cards. Like the energies around you, they don't mess around with chaos and disorder and dysfunction. Like they're really above that in a sense. And her invocation here literally says, out of chaos comes divine order. So it's like she uses divine chaos in order to bring things into order, which is really interesting. And then it says, my spirit roars with truth, just like we have Saturn truth here. So yeah, this is a very, very serious energy around you guys. And that Aphrodite love, let me just read hers really quickly too. It says, Aphrodite is the goddess of love, beauty, and sensuality. Classic Greek mythology says she was born from the sea foam around Paphos, I believe, Cyprus, exuding feminine energy. Aphrodite evokes the creative and heart-renewing powers of the water. She was a divine queen in Lemuria and reigned over all matters of love, romance, and relationships. Funny because I brought up Atlantis, and I think Lemuria was sort of like an Atlantis. I'm not too sure, but you guys may want to do a little bit of research on Lemuria and see if you resonate with it. But it says her and she reigned over all matters of love, romance, and relationships. This is definitely that Two of Pentacles, or that Two of Cups, and that Ten of Cups, even kind of the Four of Wands here. It says her temple contained a huge rose quartz crystal. Aphrodite heals our defenses against accepting love. Her mirror reveals our true beauty. Her pomegranate invites us to revel in sensuality. Aphrodite asks us to treat romantic love with respect, for it is a sacred practice. Our partners are divine teachers, bringing opportunities to learn everything about our own hearts. Sounds a lot like helpful people here. And then it says, her invocation is, I cherish myself and create beautiful relationships. All right, let's see how they talk to you, these energies that showed up in your pile. We have here spells, alchemy, and handwriting authenticity. So you guys may be writers or authors. You may be very good with words, using your words. even singing, just verbally expressing yourself. You guys may be songwriters, music lovers. You may even be gifted with automatic writing, with handwriting authenticity right here. You may be good at drawing, painting, art, things like that with handwriting authenticity. And authenticity is actually feeling very connected to the first house, the body, as well right here. And what spells alchemy, you guys are naturally good with spells and spell work. And I think that might have been the first thing that I said when I was, just looking at you guys' tarot cards. I asked if you guys were like a lover of astrology or cartomancy, divination, esotericism, stuff like that. Because it seems like you guys have maybe just like this innate knowledge, this just, natural sort of calling maybe towards spell work, witchcraft, esotericism, astrology, stuff like that. If so, this is why these energies in your life, they speak to you guys through spells, spell work, magic, with the Magician card right here, okay? Because that's exactly what spells are, right? A lot of people in a general sense, they would describe a spell as something that's like magical. It makes things happen. You guys are very, very gifted with alchemy, and alchemy is actually feeling connected to Kali Ma, spiritual transformation, because that's exactly what that's what alchemy is. It's transformation. It's taking, it's transmuting one element into a whole new form, or it's taking something as it is and recycling it, resourcing it into something else. So yeah, you guys may also be naturally gifted with spells and alchemy. And this is how these energies talk to you guys. They talk to you guys through handwriting authenticity. So you guys may even have dreams. You get like actual messages in your dreams. Like maybe you're reading something in your dream. Maybe you guys are have very strong clairvoyant abilities where you actually see words written around you or something like that. And that's your guide's way of speaking to you as well. But again, they also speak to you guys through spells and alchemy. So you guys may be people that you don't necessarily go out and like buy, fix candles or stuff like that from other people. You may prefer to do spell work or magic or energy work on your own. You may prefer to create your recipe on your own and work with energy in that way with spells alchemy here and handwriting authenticity. And then a final message here from these energies here that have shown up in your life. Let's see what they want to say to you. Okay. We have here the enlightened gut, and then underneath the deck, service. So you guys may be feeling called right now into a role or a job of service, maybe even where you guys are using your gifts to service other people, to help other people. Especially with the Magician card right here. You guys may actually be the ones where people come to you to buy your fixed candles, or they may come to you and say, hey, could you do this spell work for me, or this energy work for me, or, something like that, especially with the helpful people card right here. And then having service come out, spells alchemy. Yeah. And Kali Ma, spiritual transformation, Magician card, Saturn truth. Yeah. This is just you guys' wheelhouse. Okay, and this card here says the star family on Earth is undergoing a powerful metamorphosis as your planet evolves into its next leap of consciousness, transitioning into a new feminine tilting cycle. The rules of spirituality have flipped 180 degrees. With your solar system and planet rushing towards a central galactic core, each day the planet's vibration rises ever so slightly, and with that comes a completely new way of operating. It kind of sounds like the message that came through earlier when we were just talking about you guys' tarot cards, where the beings around you, they may have been worshipped as gods many millennia ago, because they may have kind of like been on the planet or been more interactive with human beings, and they may have performed miracles right in front of their eyes, or worked with the laws of physics to make miraculous things happen, or to make magic, in other words. But yeah, it says here, when this card arrives, it is suggesting that you fully embody the higher consciousness of this new cycle. Your gut is in need of undergoing certain transformations for it to fully receive and anchor the light codes of Gaia. Now is a good time to engage in healthier eating practice, drink plenty of blessed water, and fuse ceremony into your eating regimen. This could have something to do with your first house, the body card as well, because the first house does deal with the physical body. And it says, as Pachamama is the highest source of light on your plane, And wow, okay, that could be another reason that your Saturn truth in first house, the body card came through. I didn't even connect those dots there, but according to this message right here, first house, it does deal with the physical body, like it says right here on the card, the body. And then Saturn, like we talked about, Saturn, it deals with restrictions and limitations. So there could be some dietary restrictions that you guys are going through or are actually like implementing in your diet. You may be cutting certain things out of your diet. You guys may be on an elimination diet right now, or you may actually be developing symptoms as you guys are sort of like calibrating to a new frequency. You may be going through certain symptoms where you just have food aversions or even food cravings. There may be certain things that you no longer want to eat anymore. Or you guys may be in a position where you kind of have to eliminate certain things from your diet right now because your body may be so sensitive. And Saturn, again, is the planet of mastery, also karma, like you get what you put out. And so, Saturn is definitely the planet of accountability. So you guys may be feeling encouraged to take control of your health right now as well. And it says, as Pachamama is the highest source of light on your plane in this cycle, it is crucial that starseeds harmonize with the earth to ground into their enlightened gut. Additional meaning says clean diet, spend time in nature, take a bath, drink lots of blessed water, and new earth codes. You guys may even be helping other people with service card right here. You guys may, and helpful people, you guys may be helping other people as well to develop healthier practices or to take control of their physical health. You guys may be a nutritionist, or you just may be, working with somebody in your life that you care about and trying to help them stay maybe accountable, or trying to help them stick to maybe their diet and exercise regimen here, especially with spiritual transformation. You guys may feel called to help people heal their gut, or you guys may be on a journey right now to healing your gut. And kind of once you end up mastering that with Saturn truth over here, you guys may start helping other people sort of transform and transmute, alchemize the energies or even stored energy, stuck emotions, trapped emotions, stuff like that. You guys may be helping other people to release the energy from that sacral area, from that gut area, maybe energetically or spiritually or even physically, once you guys kind of go through your own journey as well, for enlightened gut and service to come out. But pile one, this is it. This is all that I'm saying for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with you guys' tarot cards. Then we'll be pulling some oracle messages to look into which galactic beings or deities, guides, spirits are currently around you, and some messages from them to you. So getting started with you, Pile 2, we have the Emperor, the King of Wands in reverse, and then the Devil, also in reverse. I have to cover him up. Okay, Pile 2. So at some point, I'm wondering if you guys may have had your faith tested, or have even maybe have been like an atheist at some point in your life. Maybe even you currently still are at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys spent time not believing in anything or any higher power with this spread right here, because the Emperor cannot be influenced. As we see with the Devil in reverse, he's not easily persuaded. With the King of Wands in reverse, the Emperor is a very independent, free thinker who is always going to see himself as the answer, as the solution, as the power. He's somebody that is just very self-reliant, and very practical, very realistic. And so the beings here that have shown up in your reading have for sure been villainized or demonized over time, with the King of Wands in reverse, Devil in reverse, even with the Emperor over here. Because the Emperor himself, he is the epitome of power, power in the tangible sense, in the physical sense, when it comes to society, when it comes to politics. Like, he is the representation of power itself. And the Emperor is not somebody who can be supplanted or dominated, even though there's plenty of people that try. And so the scenario coming through in your pile here is that these energies here in your spread, or spirits, They could have been like invoked during times of war or conflict and were petitioned to help gain victory over the enemy. With the emperor here, you know the saying that history is written by the victors. This emperor feels like when nations are taken over by other powers and their culture is wiped out or replaced by the winning power. And like similar to how nowadays when people talk about like ancient Egypt and their traditions, they talk about it from a Greek standpoint. So it's like the Neteru are referred to as gods, Egyptian gods, ancient Egyptian gods, and their names have been changed. And a lot of their true beliefs have been forgotten or even unknown at this point in time in history. So it's like the beings in your reading pile too are saying that they've been misrepresented with the King of Wands in reverse and the Devil in reverse, because the King of Wands in reverse is also saying that their true powers or their true identity has been warped, because that's what the Wands represents. It's going to symbolize things like spirit, ego, power, motive, how we project and animate ourselves, what we're most known for. And so the King of the suit of Wands symbolizes recognition, the power that you are known to wield and are most associated with. In reverse, the King of Wands says that its power has been distorted, and Devil in reverse is saying, because at a certain point in history, people had to like hide their worship. And I got a loud ringing in my right ear right now. Hold on, I gotta wait for that to pass. That was loud. What was I just saying? This is a power that's been distorted. Okay, so the beings that have shown up in your reading, they really resonate with that message, that their true powers, their true identity, what they represent, what they're meant to be called on for, it has been warped over time. The beings in your reading have had a hard time with their power being distorted like this. And Devil in reverse is saying at a certain point in history, people had to hide their worship of these beings here because it became associated with darker themes. Devil in reverse says that there is corruption here. There was some sort of social agenda, political agenda, something here that actually was successful. And they made the beings, the spirits that are in your reading here, they have been painted in a negative light. You know how like voodoo, for instance, has been demonized by organized religion since like forever pretty much, and its practitioners had to practice in secret? It's being forced underground is what has deformed the perception of the beings that have shown up in your pile today. So you guys may feel drawn to energy, spirits, deities that others have attempted to erase from history and from culture. They may also be associated with war, conflict, battle, even though that wasn't their original quality. They may be associated with that today. The galactic beings in this reading, there may be very old stories about them being involved in an ancient battle. This makes me think of like the Book of Enoch and how he described the Watchers that came to earth, broke their covenant with God, and were banished from heaven for it. Also, the Gnostic beliefs or the Gnostic tradition, it keeps popping up in your reading. So if you know anything about it, that would be confirmation of this pile being for you. But if not, do a little bit of research on Gnosticism and Gnostic Christianity. It's like a very deep rabbit hole. So be prepared if you like things like that. But yeah, because with the Emperor here being the only upright card for you, it's saying that you guys intuitively drawn to pile 2 have to push through a lot of social programming and mental conditioning and even fears in order to connect with these beings, because again, they have been demonized for so long that now there is a stigma surrounding their name and the worship of them or connecting with them. And so for like the names in this pile that have survived, again, they've been given like the villain narrative for sure, if they haven't been completely erased from history. So with the Emperor here, you have to be really strong in your convictions and courageous enough to think for yourself and to challenge the status quo, to go beyond the widely accepted narrative. Connecting with these energies, it may come with a lot of shame. So you have to be the Emperor, someone that makes their own judgments and stands 10 toes behind them, because if you are easily swayed or influenced, it's very easy to be convinced down the line that what I resonate with or the energies that have shown up in this pile today, they're evil because other people said they were, or that's just been the narrative for all this different time. or for all this time, that's been the narrative, is that you stay away from these energies, or that they're evil, or that they're wrong, or something like that. So there might not be a lot of research as well that you guys can do in these powers, because the information has either been, again, distorted, or it's been destroyed, or it may only exist as maybe like an oral tradition or an oral history where these stories have only survived through word of mouth. And this means that many of you have to establish a personal connection to these powers. And again, you may feel like you have to do a lot of internal work to deconstruct the societal agendas that told you to stay away from these energies. Okay. So in your reading, it's not specific energies coming through as much as it's like almost entire traditions coming in that these energies may be associated with. So we'll pull some oracle cards for sure. But for example, this could be like any polytheistic tradition that was banned during the time of like the Crusades, maybe. This could be fallen gods with the King of Wands in reverse, or any tradition that championed people's individual journey over worshiping or relying on the institution or on church itself. So anything that maybe the church was like battling with, for like supremacy, it could be these beings could be associated with whatever organized religion ended up sort of like stomping out. This could be something like, again, Gnosticism or the ancient Sumerian tradition where a lot of the Babylonian mythology came from, any pagan belief system and the figures associated with that. What is that called? And I cannot think of it. The Salem witch trials, it could be something, and I know that's not the only place that like the sort of like witch hunt, I don't even know what it's called. I know that Salem is not, Massachusetts is not the only place that happened. It was pretty much like something that was happening across the world. I mentioned voodoo earlier, but the Loa is connected to Haitian voodoo. Those may be figures or energies that you're very drawn to or called to. This could be an energy like Set from ancient Comitian tradition and how he became associated with foreigners and took on an adversarial role. And again, these don't have to be specifically what you are called to in your life, or the energies that are specifically around you. I'm just describing the essence or energy of what I'm feeling in your reading come through. So whatever this is, it was definitely the victim of some sort of like a culture war a long time ago. These may also be very masculine energies, or they may have like a masculine presence to them. But let's start grabbing a few oracle cards for you. Let's just see what comes up, if we can get any more characteristics, any more details about them. Oops. Okay. Oops. All right, so we have here movement, and it says advancing to the next level, go forward despite challenges, seeing progress. Underneath the deck here, we have sacred sexuality. This card kind of keeps popping up. And then look at what also came out, you guys. Enemy. What did I say? These energies have been demonized. They have been painted as the enemy. It says someone opposes you, hatred, anger, jealousy, creating animosity. Whatever these energies are, there was a movement against them, against their presence, against their energy, against their, the factions that worship them. There was a social movement against them to paint them as the enemy. That is insane that came out, because that's exactly what I was picking up your whole reading, is that they're and to this day, they're still seen as like a devilish figure, or they've just been villainized. And it's really not, that's really not their energy. Again, you would have to connect. You know how like, for example, like somebody could say, oh, don't hang out with that person because they're always, talking trash. They just have like a bad reputation. And it's like, once you got to know that person for yourself, it's like, why do you have this reputation? Like, I don't know why they think that you're this terrible person. And come to find out, it's like, no, like they just, maybe they got into an argument a long time ago with this person, and they've just been talking, like throwing dirt on their name ever since. But it's not true, right? So that is what's coming through in your reading. Okay, that's insane. That's definitely confirmation here. Underneath the deck, we have sacred sexuality. It says infinite flow of divine love, intimacy in your relationship, sexual energy. This may be another reason why. That kind of reminds me of the, I think his name is Pan. Yes, because he's actually, he kind of is associated with the devil figure. well, did he come from the Greek mythology? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments if you know who Pan is. He's the one that like his mom, like he had like 1,000 dads. It's a weird story with him. But look up the Greek god Pan. Yes, I believe he was a Greek god. And his mother like abandoned him, neglected him as a baby, because his face was so hideous, and anytime he would scream, he caused panic in people. But yeah, look up Pan. I don't know why, but the moment that I saw sacred sexuality, it made me think of him. And he was known to be like a very lustful kind of character. Those are the stories about him. And maybe he's been demonized. I don't know, but definitely look into him. But yeah, also the energies here in your pile, they may have also been very closely associated with sex, sexual freedom, sexual liberation, even sexuality just being very, fluid. And yeah, there's something here about these energies, these gods, these spirits in your pile. They were demonized for that. They just didn't fit the social agenda that was being pushed at a certain point. And so they had to be demonized in order to turn people away from them. But they may be very associated to sex as well. And just sexual nature, or people's just primal nature, like in a lot of organized religion, people are kind of made to feel that sex is bad, or that it's evil, or that it's wrong. Pleasure is wrong, especially for women. Like that whole other topic for a different day. Don't even get me going with that. Anyways, let's pull some other cards here, see what else comes up for you. Oh my gosh, hold on. Okay, we have here second house owning. Also, what came out is 12th house escape. Underneath the deck, we have Mercury retrograde reinvention. Again, there's this idea here of their name being reinvented, or like I talked about earlier, how practitioners of voodoo centuries ago, they had to change the names of the Loa to different Catholic saints and stuff, so they could hide who they were worshiping, who they were praying to, who they were petitioning. And so with Mercury retrograde reinvention, that's what it makes me think of. Also, though, we just recently came out of Mercury retrograde, but these energies here, they may really pop up in your life during Mercury retrograde, or they may cause Mercury retrograde instances in your life. And Mercury retrograde, it brings up things like inconveniences. We may have issues with travel or delays, stuff like that. We may have issues with communication and things of that nature. Lines may get crossed, communication lines may get crossed very easily with Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde just causes, again, like a lot of inconveniences, but not to be problematic, just more so to get our attention that, hey, we need to slow down, or we really need to pay attention, or we need to double check something, or we need to change the way that we're doing something. We need to try a different avenue, a different route. And what we usually end up realizing when we change the way that we're doing something is that, oh, there was a way easier way. I just had to be willing to kind of pivot. So these energies in your life, when they pop up in your life, they may cause Mercury retrograde type inconveniences, but also too, it's talking about reinvention here. You guys like being open to reinventing yourself, and also establishing your own relationship and your own connection with these energies. Reinvent who they are in your own life. Okay. You control the narrative of who these energies are in your life. And then we have here second house owning, 12th house escape. Second house is traditionally ruled by Taurus and Venus. 12th house is traditionally ruled by Pisces, Neptune, and Jupiter. And so what's interesting is with 12th house escape and second house owning, second house Taurus energy, even Venus, can be associated with being very territorial, again, owning things, claiming something for yourself. It's going to rule our resources, the different things that we own, the different assets we own, how we make a living, how we spend that income, how we earn a living, things of that nature. It's going to have to do with the material realm and how we connect to the material realm. And I find it really interesting that this popped up, because this is also something that organized religion has almost demonized as well, is being too connected to the material realm. And another figure that's very connected to the material realm is both the Emperor and the Devil card right here. The Devil is very fond of the material plane. and is said to see the earth as his playground where he can cause a lot of illusions and a lot of deception. And he uses the material world and the pleasures of the material world in order to tempt us to abandon our own moral system and our own principles, to turn away from our own soul and our own nature for those material possessions or those pleasures in life that the world gives us. And so I find that really interesting that this has also come through for you. As we can see, there's money on the card right here. I find it interesting that this has also come through to kind of describe these energies that have shown up in your pile, because again, organized religion has also demonized money or wealth and finding pleasure in the world. And you know, the verse, what does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? You know, so there's like this idea here that may have been weaponized in a sense to make people think that, you know, going after wealth or making a lot of money is evil, is bad, is negative. And so again, there's just sort of like breaking that kind of stigma when it comes to material possessions, the world, pleasure, things of that nature. 12th house here is the house that it's the final house in astrology. And in the 12th house, this is where our ego is dissolved. This is where we lose everything that distinguishes us or keeps us separated in a sense from source. So when we go to the 12th house, we lose all of those material possessions that kept us anchored to our ego and kept us stuck to some sort of identity. So an example of that would be like a raindrop falling into the ocean. It loses its individuality to reconnect with the idea of a whole. Okay. So again, I find it very interesting that both of these have come up to almost highlight the dilemma that can exist between being too much in the material realm or too much in the worldly sense, and being connected to this idea of source who abandons everything worldly, or not even abandons everything worldly, but with the superconscious and with the 12th house, we know how to transcend the material 3D, 4D realm, and we see beyond the illusions of that tangible plane. So these beings here, they speak to you guys through your material experience as well as your spiritual superconscious experience, but they also support you in reinventing or escaping the matrix. Okay. Because the second house, material realm, we can see it as the matrix, and the 12th house, the house that we escape or we leave behind the material realm, is how they speak to you, pile 2, in terms of like rejecting the societal agendas and the conditions, the programming that people have tried to force onto you. So this is why you guys may naturally have always rejected other people's definitions of what's good versus what's evil. And that's kind of that first message that came through as well, confirmation of that first message where you guys may have spent a portion of your life being an atheist. You may even still be an atheist for that sole reason as well. Let's see what gifts they may download to you. We have here tea leaves foresight. So they may speak to you guys. And then we have dowsing rod seeker. So yeah, this is why you guys, it may be difficult for you to commit to any one belief system because you guys are natural seekers of the truth. A lot of you may just naturally have always felt like, even from a child, you may have always questioned, but why do we see things this way? Why do we believe this? Like, this doesn't make sense. Can anybody, answer me this? Like, you may have always had questions with dowsing rod seeker right here. And then with tea leaves foresight, you guys may also, the beings that are around you, they may be very, very gifted in when it comes to, having like prophetic visions. I think that also came up possibly for pile 1. So some of you may have also been drawn to pile 1 here. But yeah, with tea leaves foresight, these energies, they may be very gifted with being able to kind of feel or sense what's going to happen in the future. And they may have also been energies that people sought out in the past, in ancient times, to sort of like tell what was going to happen in the future. Okay, let's see if there's any specific energies that want to come through for you or any. Okay, this kind of flipped over. Inanna, believe in yourself. And underneath the deck here, we have Dryad, protect your energy. Hold on, you guys. Let me see. Let me see if there's one more. I don't know why I felt like there was, yeah. Okay, so now we have also Artemis, brave spirit. So you guys look into Artemis, Cain, Inanna, or Dryad. See if you resonate with any of these energies here. These are some of the specific names that came through for you. Okay, and because like the idea of shame was such a theme in your reading, I want to pull an additional message from the energies here. What flipped over is Black Moon, Lilith, and Aries. Lead your life. Emperor is associated with Aries. And so it talks about being a leader. Underneath that, we have the sacred dark goddess mother. And then we have here putrefaction, shadow release, and projection, your spirit gold. And underneath the deck, we have Black Moon, Lilith, and Aquarius. Honor your individuality. Yeah, that's definitely a message for you guys. Let me see, though, what they want to say. Black Moon, Lilith, and Aries, lead your life says, when this card appears, the universe is calling for you to embrace your desires, set boundaries, and say no. Yeah, you may feel the need to take on the world by yourself, rejecting support from others for fear of appearing weak. This can leave you feeling depleted. The lesson here is that you can both lead others and rely on them for support. The first step is to change your belief around independence. Aries is the masculine first sign of the zodiac, ruling over the self-identity and personality, symbolized by the ram. It's an energetic fire sign that prefers to blaze its own trail. When Black Moon, Lilith, yeah, this is exactly what came through in the beginning, is you guys may not have any one belief system that you subscribe to because of that. But it says when Black Moon, Lilith is here, you can feel forced into the role of having to do everything on your own, or your desire and natural tendency towards independence can trigger others. The mother may have had to lean heavily on their masculine energy to support the family. Yeah, that's why the masculine kind of came through very strongly for you guys. And it says, singer Billie Holiday was a natal Black Moon, Lilith, in Aries with a teen single mother and an absent father. This can be an inherited pattern of self-reliance and fear of support from others that can leave you feeling unfulfilled. And it says, release the shame around who you are. It's time to embrace the fire that burns within you. This is a direct message from these energies that have shown up here for you guys. And then Black Moon, Lilith in Aquarius, honor your individuality, says, it's time to let your freak flag fly for the world to see. When Black Moon, Lilith in Aquarius shows up in a reading, it's encouraging you to embrace what makes you unique. It will require you to be brave and unapologetic. This is exactly the energies that showed up in your reading as well. It says true friends and aligned souls will accept you for who you are. Black Moon, Lilith in Aquarius represents revolution and rebellion against the status quo. This is exactly what we talked about. It says Aquarius is a fixed air sign symbolized by the water bear who pours ascendant knowledge out to the collective. Structured Saturn and eccentric Uranus are the planetary rulers of Aquarius. When the Black Moon, Lilith is in this innovative sign, you can expect radical points of view, transcending societal expectations. Yep. Rosa Parks, a notable Black Moon, Lilith in Aquarius, was arrested after she refused to give up her bus seat to a white man in 1955, sparking the Montgomery bus boycott and fueling the civil rights movement. It says this card can also experience feelings of being the black sheep in their early life. In your ancestry or childhood, this natural desire for liberation from the collective, like we talked about, transcending, breaking out of the matrix here. It says, this natural desire for liberation from the collective could have been shunned. You march to the beat of your own drummer, even when it may be disliked or feared by others. Yeah, it says it's all about accepting yourself, quirks and all. Once you do this, those who appreciate you will find your message incredibly healing and uplifting. Embrace who you are. The collective needs your unique soul. Another direct message from you guys' energies here. This is basically them telling you, pile 2, like, get behind us. Like, we got you. Okay, and then a final message from these energies in your life, what they want to say to you. Okay, we have here Maya coming out, crystalline grids underneath the deck. This card here says, from their perspective, purification is to align with your innocent nature that you possessed when you first entered your plane. Born with an open heart, curiosity, and vast mind that was open to learn, experience, and feel, this divine innocence carried you into deeper states of learning and shaped the foundation for who you are today. In the same perspective, we experience purification as a return to one's innocence and divine nature, with us gently reminding that a return to innocence facilitates for this deeper richness to enter in your life. When one is pure, they tap naturally into their divine celestial codes that have been embedded in you since you were born. Of course, these are never lost, but soon get buried in amnesia from the day-to-day experience of your plane. We, the Pleiadians, pose this question for you to ponder in this moment. Have you lost this innocence somewhere along the way? Has human life hardened you to make you abandon this purity? Whatever the case, now is a good time to reclaim this true essence by connecting with activities and mindsets that you once engaged with as a child. Maybe you need to walk barefoot on earth. Maybe you need to play in the dirt. Maybe you need to review your childhood in greater depth. Whatever it may be, know that purification leads to a place of rapid receptivity, which facilitates for the star codes to be downloaded. Stay in your divine, innocent nature. See life as new, and all will unfold with grace. And additional meaning says detox inner child, reclaiming sovereignty, like your emperor, and King of Wands in reverse, and a blessed opportunity. And also, you guys, look out for the numbers 11, 1, 5, 1 right here, and 8, as well as 4 and 15, or 1 and 5, in terms of the numbers that these energies may use to speak to you guys. But other than that, this is it. This is all that I'm saying for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we're just going to start with some tarot cards, then I'll be pulling some oracle cards to look into what galactic beings, deities, guides, or spirits are currently around you, and then we'll also pull some direct messages from them to you. So starting off with your tarot cards, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse, then the Queen of Cups upright, and the Magician. Pile 3, you guys may have been drawn to another pile today that also had the Magician. I forget which pile it was. I believe it's pile 1. So if you were drawn to that other pile, then that's just further confirmation that the Magician is really present in your life. But the beings here in your pile may have very strong feminine energy, and they are extremely connected to water with the Queen of Cups upright. And this could be an ocean spirit, or maybe they are connected to rivers. These beings have a lot of stories surrounding them as well. They may have become more mythological over time with the Queen of Wands in reverse, because Wands is a very bright energy. It's the element of fire, which is connected to awareness, enlightenment, and illumination. Wands is very evident and it's very in your face. There's no doubt that it exists, but the Queen of Wands is more intuitive in her knowing. She's confident because of what she feels and senses around her. So in reverse, the Queen of Wands, this is feeling sure that something exists, but not knowing for certain. So there's like room to doubt your own intuition. There's room to doubt what you are sensing, or what you feel drawn to, or what you resonate with. But your Queen of Cups being upright here, Cups is the element of water. Water, it contains things. It is also a superpower or a super tool that we use in terms of memory. So when the Queen of Cups shows up, she's trying to help you intuitively remember something that your soul has held on to. So this is definitely connecting to like you guys' inner child, something that you knew or remembered at a very young age, but may have forgotten over time as you've gotten older. And so, yeah, if you do, pile 3, doubt your intuition a lot, please stop doing that. There's a really strong presence here for aquatic spirits as well. Think mermaids or sirens. You guys may be very drawn to the ocean, or you may love water in general. Even something as simple as a spiritual bath may be very transformative for you. And you guys too, you may have been really drawn to fire at a certain point in your spiritual journey, like maybe early on in your spiritual journey, maybe you really were drawn to fire, loved working with like candle magic, stuff like that. And now more so in your spiritual journey, you may be leaning further into working with water at this point now in your spiritual journey, or you just may resonate with water a little bit more now in your spiritual journey. Also to the animal spirits here on your spiritual team, they may come to you in the form of aquatic animals like whales, dolphins, sharks, or other marine life. And when you guys visit bodies of water, you may attract a lot of sea life towards you as well. And these beings that are in your reading right here, they may be associated with the moon, or they may have been worshipped as a moon deity. So this could be like Syrian related energies, since water and the moon seem to be such a theme in your pile. And with the Magician and the Queen of Cups upright, it seems like the beings in your reading have a focus on evolving the people here on earth earth through the heart space to trigger gentle awakenings. Their main focus is on shattering the ego and expanding the heart space through acts of forgiveness. And they may even be associated with children or even a protector of children. So you may have a lot of memories or experiences with these energies here from when you were a small child. They may have materialized in front of you as a child with the magician over here. And they feel these energies here, they feel so tranquil, peaceful, compassionate, where if they could, they would save everyone or enlighten everyone here on earth. They definitely lead from their heart space. These may be deities or energies associated with motherhood, fertility, and this really feels like Mother Gaia, the moon, the triple goddess, maiden, mother, crone concept. This energy really reminds me of like Lilith or Hecate or Selene or Bastet, Hathor, Yemaya, the Virgin Mother Mary. You guys may feel connected to serpent energy as well, or like Kundalini energy. And these energies as well, they accompany you guys when you divine information from spirit. For those of you that may practice the divinatory arts with magician here who rules interdimensional communication, we'll call it. A magician is like the bridge between our side of the living and the spirit side. So some of you may have psychic abilities or mediumship abilities as well. You guys may also be very good at interpreting signs from spirit as well. Even dream interpretation, especially if you perform any beauty spells or beauty rituals. You guys may work with them or call in them or use them when it comes to changing your appearance. Very Venusian sort of energy here. And so these beings may have had their own human experience as well, because they have like deep compassion, a lot of patience, and a lot of grace for the human experience, for sure. One message that they have for you, pile 3, before I even start shuffling your oracle cards, is to focus on slower mornings and slower evenings. With the Queen of Wands in reverse, they want you to focus on lowering your cortisol levels, lowering your stress levels if you can, as much as you can. They want you again to focus on having slower mornings, slower evenings, putting the phone down, getting more present when you're first waking up in the morning. If you can avoid picking up your phone for the first 30 minutes to an hour, try doing that. If you can avoid, scrolling through your phone at night for the last 30 minutes to an hour before you fall asleep, try doing that. Maybe try meditating when you first wake up or when you start to go to bed with your Queen of Wands in reverse. Because these energies, they really become a lot more apparent in your life too when you guys are alone, when you isolate with your Queen of Cups upright right here. These energies also speak to you guys audibly. So you may be very gifted as well with your not claircognizance, but your clairaudient abilities, maybe even claircognizance. You guys may have a sense of knowing as well with the magician right here. Queen of Cups upright is also these beings here saying that a lot of you are like physical healers in the sense where you may be able to kind of detect or sense what is going on with someone's physical health as well. Okay, so let's start pulling some oracle messages for you, pile 3, see what we get. We have here friendship, and then underneath the deck we have crossroads. And so friendship says someone offering their support, someone close to you and your social circle. So your the beings that have popped up in your pile, they may have some messages for you guys about your friendships right now, or the friends in your life, the people that you're associated with, your community, your friend group. If there's something going on with a few of you guys' relationships, if you've been picking up something going on with your friends, this is the beings that have come through in your reading today. They're trying to alert you with something going on with a friend or your friend group. Also too, here we have crossroads. It says crucial decision must be made, moments of change make or break. So this could be what's going on with some of you guys and your friends, is you may be at a crossroads right now when it comes to maybe making a decision that is going to be very critical in you guys' relationship, or it may end up determining the future of you guys' relationship. If that's the case, call on the energies that have popped up in this reading here in order to sort of help make a decision if you guys feel as though you're kind of stuck at a crossroads somewhere. Also, if you guys feel like you're sensing something going on with your friends, maybe definitely call on these beings to help clarify what may be going on with a friend in your life or a relationship in your life that you kind of feel like you're at some sort of a crossroad with, or an intersection with, where you're trying to figure out, You're trying to figure out, do you move forward with them or not? If that is the case here, definitely call on them for some clarity, for some advice, for some support and guidance, for sure. They may also be trying to tell you as well to have a little patience with some friends in your life or some people in your life, or to lean on them at this time. If you guys are going through a lot of change in your life, then to lean on the friends that you feel safest with and most secure with. They may also be trying to tell you guys that there's a new friend or friend group coming into your life in the near future as well. Let's see how they communicate to you. And we have here, water element sensing. This is how these energies that have shown up in your pile communicate with you. Oh, these are 2 cards. They fell face down. I'm going to show you them, but I'm not going to leave them out. So we have, wow, that's interesting. Fire element desire, that was flipped face down. This is that Queen of Wands in reverse. And then we have part of fortune increase that was also flipped face down. So yeah, a lot of you earlier on in your spiritual journey, you may have been more in your fire element. You may have been more involved with fire in general or working with fire magic. And now you guys are definitely probably more tapped into the water element, working with the moon, not so much as working with the sun and stuff like that. For these to come out and be flipped down like this. Underneath the deck here, we have Grand Trine blessings. So you guys may be sensing right now some blessings coming through, but also this is how these energies in your pile communicate with you. This is how they get your attention. It's through you guys' intuition, your sacral chakra area, your emotional sensibilities, your emotional body. What is it that you feel? Again, stop ignoring your intuition. If you guys feel a certain vibe, don't dismiss it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Trust it, because you guys' discernment is very powerful. It's very strong. You guys have the Queen of Cups here. Okay. So you guys are a Queen of Water. And this is the almost like gift that they lend to you guys, or that they, really intensify for you, where your discernment is even louder, because these are highly discerning energies that are around you as well. And so with water element sensing and Grand Trine blessings, this is another way that these energies speak to you, is through opening certain doors. Because when we're dealing with trines in astrology, this is when planets come together in an aspect that looks like a triangle. And what those triangles do is they create portals, doorways of opportunity. These are supposed to be easier aspects in astrology. Is gonna depend on the planets or the celestial bodies involved in that trine and what sort of door they're opening. And a grand trine is very different from a trine. But for this to come through in your reading, again, this is how these energies really communicate with you guys, is when you can sense something on the horizon, you can sense something on the way, especially when it has something to do with a blessing or something that you're manifesting, something that you're calling into your life, something that you need. So this could definitely be, and yeah, you guys have the Magician right here. So you guys may be calling in some sort of a blessing. You may be able to sense it right now. Trust what you're sensing, you guys. Pile 3, this is a huge message from these beings in your pile to you right now, to trust in what you're sensing, trust in what you're feeling, especially when it comes to maybe the intentions that you've set or something that you're trying to manifest, some sort of magic or energy healing that you're trying to work in your life. Trust in what you are sensing that is coming. If you guys feel like, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like something good is on the way, I don't even know why I feel like that, I don't know what's going on right now, trust in what you are feeling. Okay, that's very, very important. Also too, water element sensing right here, it really brings to mind Neptune, dreamy Piscean sort of energy. So definitely pay attention to your dreams as well, because there's going to be something coming through in you guys' dream state that kind of tells you what's about to come in, especially in the form of a blessing. And this could be a new friend that's coming into you guys' life as well. Okay, let's see what spiritual methods they may use to communicate with you. We have here Oracle Wisdom. This is definitely that Queen of Cups upright right here. And then Lot's Chance. So this is Wheel of Fortune energy with Lot's Chance right here. This is kind of like rolling the dice, seeing what happens. This is being very, this is kind of like gamble in a sense. When we're dealing with Lot's Chance, it's kind of like you just throw stuff down and sort of see what the answer is going to be. You guys are really working with Wheel of Fortune energy right now. You're really working with Wheel of Fortune energy, and for this Lot's Chance card to come out. But also with Oracle Wisdom, I feel like this is very, very connected to your Crossroads card right here, in terms of if you guys feel like you're at a crossroads, you're wondering, what is the best decision for me? What decision should I make right now? You guys have the answers intuitively. You have the answers. It's just about trusting in your own wisdom. Okay, that's very important. Again, stop doubting your intuition. You guys have the answer. You need to trust in your wisdom. You guys have kind of been somewhere before. For crossroads to come out, water element sensing, Queen of Cups upright, oracle wisdom right here. You guys have already sort of been somewhere before that you may be right now at the time of seeing this reading. And again, it's about you guys relying on your wisdom, trusting your past experiences, and trusting in your own judgment right now. That is so important, especially with you guys pulling the Queen of Wands in reverse. Queen of Wands upright, she doesn't really wonder if she's making the right decision. She stands on business, okay? Like, she knows that when she makes a decision, she's like, oh no, that was the right decision for me. She's very confident in that way. So for you guys as Queen of Wands to show up in reverse, you may be kind of like doubting something that feels like the next best step for you to take, but trust in your own judgment, trust in your own wisdom, pile 3. Super important for you. Of course, you guys can consult an oracle if you guys have your own tarot cards, or if you have somebody that you trust who is a tarot reader for you, or an astrologer, something like that. Of course, you can go and seek an oracle or something like that. But I promise you, they're not going to tell you anything that you do not know already. You already have this answer, pile 3. Okay. Let's see if there's any specific names that come through for you. Ooh. Okay, we have here Apollo, divine messages. We also have Mermaid of Lemuria, joy. Yeah, Star Maiden, rest. And underneath the deck here, we have Bridget, you are a healer. Yeah, you guys are a healer. Okay, this is that Queen of Cups right here. This is why, like I said, they feel the energies that popped up in you guys' reading. They just feel so tranquil. They feel so serene. They feel so peaceful. But with Apollo divine messages, this is definitely connected to your Magician card right here. And I don't know why Apollo is serving so much face in this card right here, but this is what we've got for you guys. Apollo divine messages. You guys may feel very drawn to Apollo, Mermaid of Lemuria. Oh my God. I just got chills. I'm now realizing that I told you guys there's mermaid siren energy in your reading, and we have Mermaid of Lemuria. I got chills. I'm just now realizing what this says. Water element. Oh my God. That is, it's a little scary. Anyways, this is why I like to pull oracle cards after looking at the tarot cards, just to see if any sort of confirmation comes through. This is wild. Okay, anyways, we've got Mermaid of Lemuria, joy. We have Star Maiden here, rest. And look, you see how she's resting on the moon right here? We have Apollo, divine messages. You guys are going to, didn't I mention that you guys, if you guys practice the divinatory arts, that these energies show up to help you kind of divine messages? Did I say that for you? I can't remember if that was you or another. Yes, you were the pile that I said that, because you guys have the Magician card right here. Oracle wisdom, lots chance. People may treat you guys like a high priestess. You guys may be the oracle. And again, if you don't see yourself that way, it's because you keep downplaying your intuition. Stop doing that. You guys are an extremely powerful high priestess or high priest, however it is that you want to call it. Like, you guys are like high ranking priests, priestesses, however you want to see it. You're very high. It's a matter of you guys trusting yourself. Jesus Christ. That's crazy that this came through. Apollo divine messages. You guys were the ones that I said, if you practice divination, these energies, it's like they kind of swarm you when you guys are divining information from spirit. These energies, they kind of like get around you and help you sort of pull intuitive information as you're divining messages, whether you're doing it for yourself or other people. Yeah, so really interesting that Apollo came through. And then Bridget, you guys are a healer. You guys are a healer, okay? Queen of Cups, this is why your energy, the energies that came through in your pile, they feel so compassionate and forgiving, and like they just want everybody on earth to experience what it's like to be free of pain and suffering and trauma and, you know, all these experiences that kind of like mark us in a sense, or they leave us wounded in a sense. So you guys are definitely a healer. You're definitely a healer. You're more than likely an oracle as well. For water element to come through, Queen of Cups upright, Magician right here. Yeah, for sure. You guys trust in your abilities, okay? I have to read Mermaid of Lemuria for you guys because that was just crazy confirmation. But it says here, Lemuria was a light-centered civilization where the peaceful inhabitants maintained an exceptionally pure connection to the divine. Lemurian knowledge was embedded within crystals, stones, plants, and the ocean. Mer people were an extension of the water element. And water element sensing came through. Queen of Cups upright. That's crazy. It says, vibrating 8 to a note of pure joy. Yeah, that's the exact energy that they feel, that I feel coming through in you guys' reading. It says the mermaids carried the fluidity of the divine feminine and were an expert at balancing energy through play, relaxation, dance, creative movement, and sound healing. They freely expressed their carefree love of life. Sound healing. Did I mention that you guys may have clairaudient, strong clairaudient abilities? I think you were. I can't remember because I do so many readings at once, and I can't remember what I say for each reading. I try, but I'm human. I forget. Anyways, it says, look who splashed into your life today. With a playful flick of her shimmering tail, this mermaid showers you with droplets of Lemurian light. She says, I see how much time and energy you spend worrying about the future. Oh, crossroads. It says you're trying to control and plan everything out of fear. This approach is outworn and it dulls your radiance. This is that Queen of Wands in reverse. Wow. It says, I'm here to clear you of rigid, anxious patterns that sap your life force and cloud your spiritual vision. It says, when was the last time you played and had fun? Leave work for now and let your hair down. Trust that it is safe to drop your routines for a while. Lighten up and dance with the flow of life. Joy is your birthright and opens up creative solutions. Connecting to simple joys is the answer to any life challenge that you may be handling right now. Drawing this card heralds an energy shift. You've got Lemurian wisdom. Just like you guys pulled Oracle Wisdom up here. You got Lemurian wisdom waiting in your cells, ready to be expressed. That's what I was telling you guys. Like, you already have the wisdom within you. And it says, let the mermaid melt away your hard edges, soften your heart, and reattune your energy to sacred joy. You are about to dive deep into divine waters that have long been calling your name. Yeah, this is what we talked about with your Queen of Cups, that the water element is all about remembering, okay? And it says additional meanings, practice Lemurian or mermaid meditation journeys. So you guys try mermaid meditation journeys. I don't know what that is, but check it out. And then it says sacred geometry is accelerating your spiritual development. Place pictures on your altar, wear jewelry, visualize symbols in meditation to activate Lemurian knowledge, use crystal grids to amplify your Lemurian energy, visit or move to the coast, express your feminine energy and sensuality. Invocation says, I create pockets of joy every day. I swim with the tide of life. Also to you guys, if you have any seashells or can find any seashells, maybe collect some of those to feel a little closer to the ocean if you don't live close to like a body of water. I'm also going to read here Star Maiden for you. And it says, Star Maiden was worshipped by the ancient Greeks as Asteria, goddess of falling stars, astrology, and dream divination. Yeah, like I said, you guys may be very good at dream interpretation. And it says she appears on the star card in the tarot. On this journey, her symbolism of renewal and calm provides welcome respite after the chaos and upheaval of the tower. Stars have long been an emblem of light in the darkness, a divine promise of magical relief. During the dry season of ancient Egypt, for example, when the river Nile would become parched, people longed for the star of Isis to appear in the sky as a sign of the coming rains. In our nonstop productive world, Star Maiden is balm for the weary, overstimulated soul. Queen of Wands in reverse, you guys. You guys are too busy. This is why that direct message came through, to slow down your mornings and to slow down your evenings to reduce your cortisol levels. It says here, her celestial music reminds us how much we need time just to be, to process and integrate the journey thus far, to hang out in the spaces, to relish the pauses between breaths. She's a shining beacon of hope and healing. The message is simple. You need to slow down. You guys see that? I'm not making this up. That is crazy. The message is simple. You need to slow down. Star Maiden wraps her starry cloak around your tense shoulders, giving you permission to allow the regenerative act of being a much needed respite from constant doing. The peace after the storm has finally arrived. The worst is over. You've done the hardest part. Whatever trials or turmoil you've endured, Star Maiden assures you that they are behind you now. Your nervous system may still be on high alert, expecting the worst or staying vigilant just in case something else difficult befalls you. This is that crossroads right here. And water element sensing. You guys may be hypersensitive right now or almost overstimulated when it comes to your spiritual gifts. So try to slow down for sure. That's why that direct message came through when I was just looking at you guys' tarot cards before we even shuffled these oracle messages here. It says, if you have been through an illness or emotional trauma, there may be echoes of your experience still active in your cells. Yeah, this is why that you guys being a physical healer came through as well. It says, gaze at Star Maiden and let her calm your frazzled nerves. With the twinkle of starlight, she whisks away your best laid plans and to-do lists and whispers, now rest. Additional meaning says, you are a starseed soul. You're incarnated from the stars. Learn to interpret your dream symbolism. Yeah, relaxation and focusing on simple, joyful activities will help symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. An invocation says, I slow down my pace and heal. I relax and replenish my soul. You guys, I'm also going to end up reading Apollo and Bridget for you at the end of your reading for those of you that don't want to sit and listen to all these messages. But let me just pull your final card here for those of you that just want to see your final message. And if you want me to read through Apollo and Bridget for you, because I feel like they also have messages, then stay tuned. But for those of you that are ready to be released, let me just pull your final card here as a final message from these energies in your pile to you. And we have here crystalline grids. That's crazy. That came out for pile 2, I think. And then we have light technology underneath the deck. So you guys may also be able to see different like auric colors around people. But crystalline grids, I'm gonna read this out of the book real quick. And crystalline grid cards arrive when the new earth codes planned for the future earth seek to make a connection with yourself, make a dedication to connect with the earth, and begin a practice to receive and exchange precious information via her codes. When one becomes attuned to the crystalline grids, they begin to open into her songs, visions, and stories that she is seeking to birth throughout all her earth children. These inspirations bring deep satisfaction to one's life and guide the hue on a more purposefully driven path. Awakenings and downloads begin to present themselves here, and one naturally serves a new earth with sparks of inspiration and vision. Now is an ideal time to follow your intuition to locations that call your soul. Whether far or near, the songs of the earth are magnetizing you to meridian points to serve your future self and all future generations. The earth seeks to provide answers. Additional meaning says time in nature, inspiration, travel, new ideas, new visions, optimism, service, joy, relocation, real estate, and ceremony. And you guys, for those of you that don't care to hear Apollo's message or Bridget's message, this is the end of your reading. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you that want to know what Apollo and Bridget here say, I'm going to read this to you now. Apollo Divine Messages says, signs are being sent to light your path. Pay attention to the whispers of spirit. Apollo is a multifaceted Greek god of light and prophecy. He was a great musician and ruled over poetry, dance, archery, illness, medicine, oracles in the sun. You guys have oracle right here too. It says Apollo held the gift of prophecy. His oracle at Delphi was the greatest in the ancient world, consulted by the wealthiest and most influential people in Greece. From inside the temple, a priestess called the Pythia would channel Apollo's sacred messages, and priests wrote them down. This is also why you guys pulled lots and oracle here. It says the temple still stands on Mount Parnassus today. Apollo is a conduit for divine guidance and sacred signs. Yeah, that also came through when I was just looking at you guys' tarot cards, that you guys are really good at interpreting signs. And it says his symbols include the wolf, dolphin. That's why the dolphin came through for you. It says swan, laurel crown, golden lyre, and silver bow. It says, wake up, the divine realms are communicating with you, sweeping in upon his shining chariot. Apollo comes to illuminate the stream of heavenly messages that are being sent your way. Blonde curls gleaming in the sun, Apollo sits down next to you and starts to play rapturous music on his lyre. A wondrous, intuitive language is being spoken through signs and synchronicity, he says. Spiritual guides commonly send symbols like feathers and rainbows to remind you of their presence. Pay attention to words, phrases, overheard conversations, song lyrics, music, colors, images, symbols, and number patterns that you experience repetitively. You may have a sense of heightened awareness or sudden stillness that the sign is delivered. Divine messages will always be kind, loving, encouraging, and positive, and they don't tell you to do anything. Rather, they nudge you in the right direction of your highest good, reinforcing your inner knowing. Again, you guys, trust your own intuition. If you don't understand a divine message, ask yourself, if I really knew, what would this sign mean? Interpret it kindly and trust yourself. Additional meaning says, make a sign journal, record your divine messages, and notice recurring themes. You may have had significant past life experiences at the Delphic Oracle. You'll soon receive a double oracle card reading or intuitive session. You'll soon receive a valuable oracle card reading or intuitive session and follow a career path in music. Invocation says, Apollo, help me interpret the language of spirit. Bridget here says, you are a healer. You carry tools, remedies, and skills earned during previous incarnations. The healing energy of the goddess is embedded in your cells. If you need healing yourself, let Bridget's bright blessings light the way. Strengthen your belief in your own power to heal. Or are you being called to facilitate healing for others? Remember, a healer's job is not to rescue people from their problems. It's a humble role. Yeah, that's why that idea came through, that these energies, they want to save everyone here on earth. But it says, remember, a healer's job isn't to rescue people from their problems. It's a humble role that helps someone call in their own highest vision of health and well-being. It's always the person who's receiving the healing who chooses how, when, and to what extent they are ready to heal. The powerful ancient healer inside you may be scared of coming forwards. You may be fearful of ridicule, criticism, or even punishment. Long ago, the deep knowledge you carry was stolen, discredited, and used against you, but it is safe now to light up the world with your healing gifts. You're here to facilitate deep healing for others and for Mother Earth. And additional meaning says, be optimistic and proactive about healing yourself. You're stronger than you think. Use complementary or integrative therapies in combination with conventional medicine. An important spiritual gateway is opening. This is that grand shrine right here that we talked about, that doorway. It says, so cross the threshold with positive expectations. This is also that crossroads right here. Spring clean your home to create space for new energy, and visit Bridget's holy wells in Ireland, for example. Country Kildare, I believe. Invocation says, healing energies flow through me from the goddess. It is safe to heal. And pile 3, this is it. This is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, and amazing spirit for these messages. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. All right, pile 4, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting with your tarot cards. Then I'll be pulling some oracle messages to look into which galactic beings or even spiritual deities, guides, ascendant masters are currently around you. So getting started with you guys' tarot cards here. The very first one that we have is the Knight of Cups in reverse. Then the Two of Cups. The Two of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so right away, pile 4, these beings that are showing up in your pile, they may speak to you in twos. So like repeating twos, like 222, or just a lot of twos in general, or like 2121, 2020, 23, 24, stuff like that. Like they may speak to you in twos with these two twos right here. Also as well, the beings around you that have shown up in this reading, they are very tuned into the people around you. So you guys' discernment may be very, very high, especially when it comes to the people around you, the people that are in your life, the people that have close proximity to you or a lot of access to you, the people that you have friendships with, relationships with, that you do business with as well, with the Two of Pentacles right here, because that can talk about a business exchange or doing business with someone. The Two of Cups talks about having more of an emotional connection. So you guys may notice that you get a lot of downloads, a lot of information about the people around you in your life. You may have dreams about them, stuff that's going on in their life. When you're around them, you may hear or even see stuff with your third eye about the people in your life. The closer they are to you as well, with these two cards right here, the more information that you may get on the people in your life, even without them telling you anything that's going on with them personally. Like the closer that they are to you physically, the more you might pick up on stuff that's going on with them in their life. As well as too, a lot of you may even get premonitions about the people in your life with the Seven of Swords right here, things that they need to look out for, things that they need to watch out for, things that they need to avoid with the Knight of Cups in reverse. You guys may also even get intuitive information about the people in your life and the relationships that they're in, what's going on in their relationships. If there's something that they need to look out for, you guys may just be very, very sensitive to picking up on the people around you in your life. Almost more sensitive than maybe you are like when it comes to your own, personal life and stuff. And also, yeah, these spirits around you, they speak to a lot of you though, as well with deja vu and in lucid dreams. If you have ever been hypnotized or took a psychedelic or had an out of body experience, these energies here were one of the first beings that you more than likely met when you crossed through, or crossed to the spiritual side. So we're going to get real woo woo strange with your pile. I can already feel it. It's a different type of cord here between you and the beings that have showed up in your pile today. Now, this would be similar to like strong ancestor energy in this pile. The beings around you, whether they are galactic or angelic or deities, they feel more intimately connected to you, almost like they share a lineage with you, like maybe an ancestor or a descendant with this, or this could even be like a soulmate, twin flame energy coming through that maybe you shared a life with, even on a different timeline or in a past incarnation. This could be someone that you even knew in this life and they have since transitioned over to the spirit realm. Because the connection here, it feels physical. It feels tangible almost. That's the word, physical. It feels like there's a closer or stronger attachment to you than the other piles that I've read for today. Not like closer as in like a closer relationship, but it feels more parallel or more like mirrored almost. Between the Two of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, I would not be shocked if like a member on your spiritual team who is coming through in this reading shared some part of their life with you, because the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Cups in your reading is coming through like, again, like a mirror reflection, almost as if they are saying there's a veil between the two of you now because they've returned home to the ancestor realm, or in other words, the spiritual realm. So this could very well be like a new member on you guys' team with the Knight of Cups in reverse right here, where maybe they were called into your life because of a specific experience that you were going through. Because, spiritual beings, they're just like human beings. They have a way of popping in and out of our lives as we move through different experiences and different seasons and different lessons in our life. And those relationships help us see what was basically in our blind spot before. So this is also going to sound a little weird as well, but the beings in this pile that are coming to you, they come to you in the form of different people in your life. And there's a reason why so many of you that were intuitively drawn to this pile have had several incarnations with people where you may have had several interactions with people where you may have walked away feeling like you met them before. The beings in your pile here, they send people to you from time to time that have a very similar essence to them. So a lot of you have had really deep connections with people that were seasonal though. They might not have stayed in your life for a long time. They might not be in your life right now, but when they were there, it may have felt like a soulmate. It may have felt like a very deep, very emotional connection where you both knew each other so well, or you got so deep really quickly. As well as too, this kind of reminds me of, I forget which one, because I'm not that educated with numerology, but this kind of brings to mind when people have karmic debt, sometimes they can have extremely deep experiences, like relationships with people in their life, where they get really deep with people really quickly. Like they don't do that with everyone, but there's certain people that they meet and it's just like, oh my God, like I feel like I've known you my whole life, or like you just feel really comfortable with them really fast. And it's vice versa. It's not like a one-sided thing. This happens on both sides. So, some of you may have, what's it called? I think it's karmic debt, in your numerology chart, or even associated with your life path number. And I know the numbers that are have karmic debt attached to them, you're going to want to use like a numerological calculator just to make sure, like a karmic debt numerological calculator. I'll actually link one down below specifically for you guys. There's 4 numbers specifically that have karmic debt attached to them. It's 13, 14, 16, and 19. So if you are a life path 1, 4, 5, or 7. It's possible you have karmic debt attached to your life path number, and your life path number is kind of like your sun sign in astrology. It's really going to have like this overarching theme or feeling to your entire life. Like you're going to see themes of it kind of pop up everywhere throughout your entire incarnation. So you don't have to have karmic debt attached to your life path number. If you are one of those life path numbers, you could. Again, you're going to want to use a calculator. I'll link one down below for you guys. And even if you're not one of those life path numbers, it doesn't mean that this message isn't for you, but I'm only bringing that up because it's like coming through so heavily that you guys, like, there's certain people that you have met in your life where it's just, you got really deep with them or really close with them. And it may have been a seasonal relationship where they're no longer in your life. It may have ended painfully with the 7 of Swords right here. With the Knight of Cups in reverse, this person they may have felt like your opposite. They may have felt like your reflection in a sense, or even they may have even caused you guys to do some shadow work to come to some really deep realizations and revelations in your own life with the Knight of Cups in reverse right here. Like this person like was brought into your life specifically to awaken you to different parts of your own being, your own nature, your own spirit, who you are, your own path, your own journey here. Like you guys have had a lot of relationships that have awakened you, because there's different tools that the universe will bring into our life or use in our life in order to help us awaken or enlighten to certain things. And for you guys specifically, it's relationships. Also, too, some astrological things to look out for. If you have either South or North node pop up in your first house, 7th house, 4th house, 10th house, even 11th or 5th house, then that could also be an indicator here that there was some karmic connections that you guys kind of came into this life with, you sort of inherited coming into this life with, that you sort of needed to close out in this specific incarnation. With the Knight of Cups in reverse, there was definitely some unfinished business for a lot of you guys with certain people in your life. And this is why there's just, you guys got really deep with very specific people in your life. Again, this doesn't happen with everyone. It's every now and again, you just meet someone where it's like, I swear to God, I've definitely known you before. Like, I know you, you know me, and there's no doubt about it in your mind that like you've known this person in another lifetime or in another life. So for sure, you guys, even if these were like seasonal connections, they might not have stayed in your life forever. They might not be here in your life today, but when they were in your life, it may have felt like a soulmate. And soulmates aren't just romantic either, you guys. Soulmates can show up in the form of friends, business associates, mentors, pets. I even believe something like a passion project or a life purpose can take on the role of a soulmate. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic, because in my opinion, a soulmate is just something or someone that we share the same vibrational patterns with. That's what makes you soulmates or kindred souls, that for the time being choose to walk the same direction with you in life. Or in other words, it's like fate had plans from the beginning, from before you were conceived, for you and this other connection to at some point cross paths. And to me, that is the reason why a soulmate can kind of manifest into several different forms. Okay, but let's start grabbing some oracle cards for you guys. Let's just see what we get. Let's see what we have pop up for you. Pile 4. Very interesting reading. We have Witch Within, connecting with your inner witch, amplifying your energy, manifestation, and rituals. And then underneath the deck here, we have you guys, you see that? You guys see that? Contracts. What have I been talking about, you guys, this entire reading? That you guys had these like soulmates, karmic partners, or connections or something like that. Look at what contract says: legal matters, court cases, commitments made, and soul contracts. Exactly. You guys had these soul contracts. And the fact that contracts came out with Witch Within. Okay, again, we're going to get woo-woo with you guys because it's just your pile here. There's just the energy here. You guys may have in a past life created a soul contract with someone in a past life where you were like, okay, let's make a promise to each other to find each other again in our next life or in another life. With Witch Within and contracts. Witch Within, it just basically talks about like you have a deep, intimate understanding of energy, of magic or spell work, however it is that you want to label it or look at it. You have a deep understanding of energy, universal energy, cosmology, how the ethers work, right? You have a close connection to the spirit realm. And you see through the veil or beyond it, right? So the fact that Witch Within came up with contracts as well, this is kind of telling me that some of you guys, you may have actually willingly went into some sort of a soul contract with someone in another life. Like we talked about, like I mentioned with your Knight of Cups in reverse, this talks about unfinished business. So the fact that contracts and Witch Within came up, yeah, you guys, some of you guys voluntarily decided to bind yourself to someone in a past life. And this is why, this kind of relationship sort of keeps coming up. So if you guys are kind of done with certain contracts, certain bonds in your life, you do have the power and the free will to decide to sever that contract in this life. If you're done with them, if you're through with them, especially with the Seven of Swords over here, the Seven of Swords is actually not coming through for me on my end anyways, as like these relationships ending in a bad way or ending in a painful way. They could have with the Seven of Swords right here. But what's more so coming through is like, it's just, this is like in this specific incarnation, you guys were almost meant to experience some breaking away with certain souls and people that you had a soul contract with. It was meant to kind of break away in this life, some of those connections. Whether it happened painfully or amicably, it was just sort of meant to. It was pretty much fated. But yeah, also the energies in your life as well, pile 4, you may have also in a different life, in a different incarnation, entered into a voluntary contract with the galactic beings or deities or spirits in your life. You may have bound yourself to them. You may have, even in a different lifetime or even in this lifetime, you guys may have decided to, connect yourself or contract yourself or bind yourself or even worship a particular spirit, ascendant master, deity, whatever it may be. You may have went into a commitment with them saying like, I'm going to worship you or serve you or, stay connected to you for my entire incarnation. I promise myself to you in this incarnation. You guys may have also done that. And this is why these beings that have popped up in your pile, they keep coming through. Also, this can even serve as confirmation that there's an ancestral tie here between the beings that have popped up in your pile today and you guys with contracts right here, soul contracts. But just know for sure that Witch Within is also confirmation that you guys are a natural witch as well. However it is that you label a witch, see a witch, I know that can be very triggering. The word witch for some reason can be very triggering for people, but you guys are just naturally, we'll just say that you have a natural understanding, an innate understanding, an intimate understanding of energy in the spirit realm. Okay, let's see how it is that these beings in your life come through astrologically, how they connect with you. Grab a few more indicators here with their you guys see what flipped over? What did we talk about, you guys? We talked about, I mentioned that you guys may have north or south node in certain houses in your natal chart, right? Or that if you understand numerology, you may have some karmic debt. Look at what flipped over, south node, life's debts. You guys see that? Underneath the deck here, we have Gemini, I think. Underneath South Node Life's debts is Capricorn, I use. Okay, so Capricorn, Gemini may be very prominent energies in your life. You guys may connect with or run into a lot of Capricorn, Gemini people. It's really interesting how it's like we just naturally run into certain zodiac signs. Like I always say, like, for some reason, I never meet Sagittariuses. It's so weird. And it's like, I feel like I would, if I ran into a Sagittarius, I would really vibe with them because I love Sagittarius, or at least in my head, I love Sagittarius energy because I'm an astrologer. So I just love everything about Sagittarius energy. So I feel like if I were to meet a Sagittarius, I'd really vibe with them. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, I say all that to say that you guys may notice that you run into a lot of Capricorns, a lot of Geminis, or that the relationships, the sort of like soul contracts that you have had in your life, the people that you've had these soul contracts with, they may have had strong Capricorn Gemini energy. You guys may have very strong Capricorn Gemini energy in your chart as well. Capricorn is going to traditionally rule the 10th house. Gemini is going to traditionally rule the 3rd house. So you may have a lot of transits currently moving through those houses as well. Right now we don't have anything major. Oh yeah, we do have Uranus that just stepped into Gemini actually, about a month or two ago. So yeah, and Capricorn, Pluto just left Capricorn. So yeah, there definitely could have been, Pluto just left Capricorn. So there definitely could have been some sort of soul contracts that has gotten cleansed out of you guys' like Capricorn house. There may be a new karmic cycle starting up with you guys, because Uranus again just moved into Gemini, and Uranus doesn't necessarily connect to karma. Uranus is more so about our agency. It's more so about discovery and the future. And Uranus likes to disrupt certain patterns in our life that have kept us from changing or kept us from evolving or kept us from progressing. Actually, I'm going to be doing a reading on that for you guys, like with this new 7-year cycle, because Uranus spends about 7 years in every sign. So there could definitely be some new soul contract that you guys kind of see pop up now that Uranus is in Gemini. And also with Capricorn here, you guys may have just sort of finished up some soul contracts now that Pluto has just recently moved out of Capricorn. So within the last like 15 years, there may have been some very prominent relationships in your life that came to an end or helped you awaken. With the Capricorn card right here, I use, and Gemini, I think. But yeah, South Node Life Stats is just total confirmation of everything that we talked about with you guys' tarot cards here. Contracts right here, soul contracts. Yeah, you guys definitely have some strong like South Node energy here in your life. And also too, this is exactly how you guys' guides or the beings that have popped up in your reading today, this is how they speak to you guys, is through your South Node energies, through your karmic debt, also as well through Capricorn and Gemini. Gemini is going to rule the mind, communication, how we learn. And Capricorn is going to deal with the footprint that we leave behind in life. Capricorn is all about the legacy that we're building and the legacy that we end up leaving behind. So for sure, yeah, this is how you guys' guides or the beings that have popped up in you guys' pile today speak to you. So again, with Capricorn here, could definitely be confirmation of some ancestral energy as well showing up in you guys' pile. Let's see if there's any specific, or no, let me pull from this other deck over here first. Let's see how these beings speak to you. We have here candle illumination and arrow focus. So you guys may love working with fire or candle magic, stuff like that. But the way that they really speak to you guys is through enlightenment. As we kind of talked about just looking at your tarot cards, is that they like to enlighten you guys through different relationships in your life. So with candle illumination, you guys may notice that like when you work with candles or just even just having like candles like in your home, you may notice that the flame dances around a lot, or there's different types of flames or different flame colors, or that they split in two, or even recently, you guys may have noticed some candle or flame activity with a candle that you guys may have had lit recently before hearing this reading. The candle may have even cracked, like the jar may have cracked. It may have been popping a lot, dancing a lot. So they, if that happened, especially recently, then this is just more confirmation of like these beings trying to get your attention and telling you like for sure they're coming through in this reading for you with candle illumination here. And also with arrow focus, this is also reminding me of Sagittarius energy too, because Sagittarius is the archer in astrology. Also with arrow focus here, this is talking about a trajectory. This is talking about a path that is illuminated right here with arrow focus and illumination. There's some sort of path that has been illuminated for you guys, or is about to be illuminated for you guys, especially too, because it's like there's some sort of karmic chapter or lesson that may have just closed out for you guys, and through that lesson, some sort of new path may have opened up for you or may have cleared up for you guys with arrow focus and candle illumination right here. But also your guides speak to you guys through callings, where you feel called, where you feel led, where you feel like you are being pulled, almost like a magnet, like something is pulling you in a certain direction, like you can't help but to go there. Again, that's also very associated with Sagittarius energy. You guys may have strong Sagittarius energy. But yeah, for sure, this is how you guys as guides speak to you, is they illuminate the path, or in other words, they make the path extremely clear to you where they want you guys to go. Like, it's like clear as day that it's like, oh, you guys want me to go in this direction because it's going to be an easy path. Every single door is going to be open. Every person that you talk to is going to tell you yes. It's going to flow. Things are going to feel effortless. They're going to feel natural. It's not going to feel like a lot of resistance or like you have to push, pull, or struggle. It's going to feel very easy. And this is how you guys are going to know that it's like your guides are talking to you and guiding you. So they do a lot of guiding for you. The beings that have popped up in this reading, sometimes it's like we can have like energies or spirits in our life where they don't maybe do a lot of guiding. They all kind of have their roles because they all have their different talents and strengths and things that they're good at. And some of them guide better than others. Some of them are more so warriors, or some of them are more so they're going to be responsible for clearing blockages out of your way or illuminating your path. Some of them are going to be, more healers, or they're going to be more communicative with you, where they are, downloading information to you all the time. They're speaking to you all the time. So for you guys, it's like the beings that have popped up in your life, their main priority is guiding you a lot, just guiding you, pulling you along the way. Go over here, stay away from that, do this, don't do that. So, and if you guys are currently in your life somewhere where you feel like you need some guidance, all you have to do is just ask. They're going to illuminate the path for you. They're going to make it very obvious to you, very apparent to you where you're meant to go. Let's see if we can get any specific names of beings that may be in your life right now. We have here Imhotep, Visionary. Underneath the deck here, we have Mother Mary, Emotional Healing. So emotional healing, you guys may be going through, let me pull another one, because I think with the last pile, I think I pulled like 4 cards. I'm going to pull some other ones to see if some other names pop up for you. But with emotional healing, you guys may feel like you're sort of still coming back from a karmic lesson that you went through. Karmic lessons, they hit so deep. They hit so deep. Yeah, we have here that flipped over Avalon Priestess, Intuitive Awakening. Kind of reminds me of Your Witch Within. Underneath that is Persephone, New Beginnings. So these beings may also be in your life. And then underneath the deck, we have High Priest of Atlantis, Chakra Healing. So you guys here have a priestess and a high priest. So you guys may definitely be going through some sort of a healing right now after a karmic lesson has just closed out in your life. And also too, there's a new beginning that's starting for you. And this sounds sort of like a confirmation of arrow focus and candle illumination about that new path being illuminated for you guys. Okay, so these could be the beings in you guys' life. Their specific names. Look up their specific names. Do a little reading on their story, because you may notice that you feel very drawn to them, or that you resonate a lot with their story. If so, that's because they are definitely in you guys' life. And let's just grab a final message from them to you. We have here Light Technology, and underneath the deck we have Sacred Union. I feel like I have to read this because this is that 2 of Cups, heavy, and contracts right here, and South Node Life Stats. Yeah. So Light Technology here says radiance is you, light is you. It says this card arrives when a time of fruitful endeavors is here, like a field being cleared for new seeds to be planted. Oh, this is that Persephone, New Beginnings. And it says your DNA holds the same potential when traumas of the past are released. This is that South Node Life Stats and contracts being cleared out. And it says now, thanks to your dedication to growth, a new time of opportunity and new beginnings has arrived. Oh yeah, Persephone is really strong in you guys' life, or any sort of being ascendant master energy that's very connected to new beginnings. It says activate this light technology within yourself by speaking to your molecular structure and instructing it for what you desire. For example, you can communicate to your cells to stay youthful and radiant. You can communicate to your cells to formulate their multidimensional structuring so they can adjust with grace to the new evolution on the planet. You may request for divine wisdom to blossom in your essence. Speak to your body, activate your DNA, and know that the light is you. Additional meanings here says advancement, progress, fresh start, doorways opening, gateway to new, upgrades, spiritual growth, and new beginnings. Oh, she is heavy in you guys' life. So if you guys already felt connected to Persephone, just know she is like all up in your reading. And let's see, the Sacred Union card arrives when you are being given the opportunity to reshape what sexuality represents to you and clear out any outdated caste and shame imposed on you through false religious or societal programs. Now is a good time to explore the sacredness of sexuality and engage in healthy practices to expand your soul awareness. In addition, this card can indicate that a romantic influence is near. Oh, this is that Two of Cups, or you are going deeper into your sacred partnership or begin a new journey. Use this time to honor your sacred temple, see yourself as holy, and know that the energy of sexuality births planets and may be used for universal harmony. Reclaim this sacred practice for the benefit of all future generations and proclaim sex is beautiful, sex is healthy. I open myself to sacred sexuality. Additional meanings here is partnership, romance, tantra, love, couple work. And also for sure, we have 15 now popping up twice. So these guides in your pile, they may speak to you through numbers like 1 or 5, or even like I talked about with the twos, we have 22 right here. We have 42, 29 over here. So they may speak to you with those numbers as well. But pile 4, this is it. This is all that I'm saying. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit for these messages, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.